All right. Yes, yes, yes. Back at Red Morton Park. It is Wednesday. It is an absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, amazing day here once again in Redwood City, California, where I live. And wow, geez, 1 week through November already, and we're having an Indian summer out here. Huh. Wow. I just can't complain. If I try to find a reason to complain, there isn't one. Why would you complain with such great weather? Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the daily walk edition of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And today I have a very, very highly controversial topic I want to discuss, and there's a reason why I want to discuss it. I'll get to that in just a little bit here. But before I get to that, I want to make everyone aware that I didn't get a chance to do any videos yesterday because most of you that have been watching my videos know that AT&T was at my place installing gigabit fiber. And technically the installs are only supposed to take about 2 to 4 hours, but it pretty much took all day because it was a pretty complicated thing. They had to go outside and they had to go find where the fiber was at and then do some fancy shit, but they ended up making it work. And I now am proud to say that I have 1,000 megabit downstream and 1,000 megabit upstream, up and down. And it's full duplex. For those of you that don't understand what full duplex means, is that I can upload and download simultaneously at a gigabit. With most other internet connections, they are known as asynchronous, meaning that the upstream and downstream, they share the bandwidth. So if you have somebody who's like uploading full throttle at your place and you try to download something, you will not be able to get your full download. But with fiber, you get your full speed up and down all the time. It's amazing. It is fast. And I have to say, I didn't get much sleep last night. I was playing around with it, kind of setting it up the way I wanted to set it up, and I am now ready to rock and roll. So just kind of wanted to mention that. I'm still like a little boy when it comes to tech, especially living here in the high-tech capital of the world, the beautiful, gorgeous, overly priced, expensive San Francisco Bay Area. Oh, man. And because of that, another thing that you may notice if you're big on quality, and I've always been big on quality, but because I've been doing a lot of these videos lately, and I used to have a slower upstream, and I was using too much of my mobile data to try to upload things in the past, I reduced the quality of my previous videos. But now, if you notice today, I have increased the quality. These videos are going to have a larger file size, and because I have the bandwidth to upload larger file sizes, that means I can upload better quality. So you're going to see me much more clearly, and I know to some of you it's not going to make that much of a difference, but I am big on quality, and now there is absolutely no reason to sacrifice on quality because I have unlimited internet access at 1 gigabit up and 1 gigabit down. And I did some speed tests. It was incredible. I did a speed test going to the Windows Update site. Whenever there's a new version of Windows, it's typically about 4 gigabytes. And on my old connection, that would take me, probably like an hour to download or 45 minutes to an hour to download. I did a test today, and on my fiber connection, it took like 40 seconds to download it. 40 seconds. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's move forward here because we have more important things to discuss. I have a full day ahead of me. I may do a second video later today, and then tonight I'm going to go hang out with some friends, probably go do some dinner. Because the last few days I've been preparing for, my internet upgrade, and then I spent all day with the tech, getting it installed. So I'm ready to get back out there and enjoy life. Sometimes it takes a day or two to take care of things around the place, set things up, and once they're all set, you know, they're permanently there. And that's what I did with the fiber connection. Now it's permanently there. So let's get to the topic of today's Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, Daily Walk Edition. And that topic is women's liberation isn't the problem. The problem is feminism and women who label themselves a feminist. Now, let me repeat that one more time. Today's topic is women's liberation isn't the problem. The problem is feminism and women who label themselves a feminist. And now the city of Redwood City is out here today. They are trimming the trees. I have to give props to the city of Redwood City. They do a great job of maintaining the parks out here, especially Red Morton Park here in beautiful Redwood City, California. It's just always awesome coming out here. It's clean, lots of friendly people. It's a safe place, and I just love it. I totally enjoy it. So anyway, let's move forward and talk about this highly controversial topic that most women out here today don't want men talking about this. Yeah, you ladies don't want us men talking about women's lib and feminism and all that stuff. But you want to talk about how terrible men are. Okay? That's what happens. You get women out there today, and not all women are like that, like I mentioned before, but many women today, if a man goes out there and expresses his feelings about women's lib and the women's movement and the modern day woman, and even if the man is right about what he's saying, okay, women don't want to hear it. But at the same time, what women don't understand is that women's lib and, hold on one second here. I'm just trying to come around here and not interrupt people. And I don't want them to hear me talking about this because, yeah, it is a highly controversial topic. So anyway, feminism, women's lib, the women's movement, however you want to say it, it does affect you ladies as well, because you ladies still want the company of a man. You ladies still want to have a life. Many of you still want to reproduce and have kids. Some of you don't, but many of you do. So, why, when men share their thoughts about it and how it's affected them, why does it upset you? Maybe you can learn something about us regarding how we feel about it. And maybe we can all work together and find some common ground. Okay, hang on a second here. Because that's all I want out of this whole thing. I just want us to find some common ground. I don't want to take anything away from the modern day woman or women in general. But this topic today, I wanted to do this topic today because, like I've been mentioning lately, about 3 weeks ago, I bought a 1-month membership on Match.com. I started putting myself back out there because, I didn't want to sit around and, put my life on hold just because I recently got out of a breakup. Now, I'm nowhere nearly ready for a relationship, and I'm still, bettering myself and, recovering from the loss of that relationship. I'm not going to lie about it. I mean, I've gotten a lot better, and I feel I'm in a much better place. But I know 100% for a fact that, I'm not ready to commit to anybody right now. Not because I'm not capable of doing it. Not because, I don't have the resources to do it or anything like that. But, emotionally, I need some more time to myself to just go out there and experience things and take things slow and then ease myself back into this. So I've been putting myself back out there and just hanging out with women as activity partners. And I'm very clear about that. I've gone hiking with a couple of women. I've met some other women for a walk in the park. And then I've talked to several women either through messages or on the phone. Some of them I'll meet, some of them I won't meet. It just depends on their personality. It depends on, their attitude. It depends on their level of excitement. Are they excited to want to get to know me or just hang out with me to do something fun? And I'm not looking for any sex or any commitment or anything. I'm just looking to hang out. Now, if something comes out of it down the road without any pressure, you know what? When you let the natural flow of progression happen, sometimes things just happen. But I'm not expecting anything. So for the last, couple, 2-3 days or so, I've been talking to this lady from the Bay Area. She's like, I think she's 46 or 47, like 2-3 years older than me. And, she got back to me and saw my profile that was very direct because like I mentioned in previous videos, my profile is very, very direct. I say what I like and what I don't like. And, some women responded positively, some responded negatively. But like I've also mentioned in the past, for every one negative response I get to my profile, or I get regarding my profile, I get 10 positive responses. So this lady responds and she says, I like the fact you're direct in your profile, but I'm not quite sure if, we're the right fit. But I really like what you had to say in your profile. And I'm like, okay. I responded back to her and I said, hey, thanks for the response. I like the fact that your profile's pretty straightforward too. It doesn't hurt to chat back and forth a little bit, get to know each other, and see where things go with no pressure. So she got back to me and wrote me this. She said, well, just so you know, I'm a very strong and independent woman. So let me know if that works for you before we move forward. She made it very clear to me that she's a very strong and independent woman. And the moment that she said that, no disrespect to you ladies out there, the moment that she said that is the moment I knew in my head instantly that she's a fucking feminist. And I say that with a little bit of anger because you're going to hear more about what happened here. I already knew what was going to happen because I've learned a lot about feminism over the last several years. I've had a lot of experience in dealing with women like this. So I already know how they are in their head, mentally and emotionally. So now it's not even about me being interested in wanting to get to know her anymore because I had no desire when she wrote that to me. Now it's all about sending her messages back and forth and fucking with her. Playing stupid like I'm some stupid beta male doesn't know anything about feminism and the modern day strong woman. Kind of try to play dumb. So I got back to her and I said, I admire the fact that you're a strong woman. I respect today's I respect the women in today's day and age, But I also said that I'm a very strong man as well, and I need to ask you something. I asked her something towards. How do I say this the right way? I asked her something of this sort. I said, I'm more so looking to date a woman that spends more of her time in her feminine essence than her masculine essence. So, if you spend more time exuding masculine energy, that would not work for me. It's a deal breaker for me. I also further wrote that I'm not looking to, get to know a woman that behaves more like a man than a woman. I'm looking for a woman that spends more time in her natural essence of being feminine. I was making it very clear to her that I respect the fact that you've been liberated. I respect the fact that the women's movement has given you equal rights. Okay? I've talked about it many times in the past, but just mentioning it here again for example purposes. So I was telling her, I totally respect the fact that women have a more fair shake nowadays. Okay? But at the same time, hey, I'm a man and I'm a masculine man. And I'm not attracted to a masculine behaving female. So I was kind of telling this to her in different words. I can't remember exactly how I wrote it, but I mentioned it to her, right? I made it very clear that I understood what she meant by that. In other words, I pretty much responded to her in a way where she would get the hint that I knew she was behaving like a fucking feminist. So what does she do? She gets back to me and she says, no, I appreciate the fact that you mentioned what you mentioned. I am very feminine, but I'm also very strong. And I don't know if this is gonna work out because I do consider myself a feminist. So she came out flat out and wrote me a Match.com message back saying, I am a feminist. She couldn't even just hold that in. It was already obvious, like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of this story. It was already obvious, and I think I made it clear enough in other words to her that I knew she was behaving like a fucking feminist. But she had to still come out and say I'm a feminist. She goes, if you're still okay with me being a feminist, let me know. And then she goes, how about we talk by phone and continue this conversation by phone? At that point, I was like, okay, I'll talk with her by phone for a few minutes, knowing that, more than likely nothing's going to come out of it. But I just kind of felt like having a conversation with a feminist and giving her a piece of my fucking mind. I'll share more about my thoughts regarding feminism in a second. It's not as bad as you ladies think it is because I actually respect women. I respect people in general that deserve respect. What I don't respect are people that want special privileges and feel that, one side is more dominant than the other. Okay? Yeah, men used to be the dominant species back in the days, but we're not anymore. But now women are behaving like they're the dominant species because they're revolting over what happened to them in the past. But they say they want equality. They got equality, but now they don't stop there. They want more. They want to wear the pants. They want to be in charge. They want to be in control. Yet it's supposed to be fair and equal. So I got back to her and I said, okay, why don't you shoot me your number and we can talk at, 8:30 tonight. I had some things to do before that. I had AT&T at my place yesterday installing fiber all day, and then I went and took my second walk late night, and I wasn't going to be ready to talk till about 8:30 after I, ate some dinner. Or, I was planning to eat some dinner, which I did. So she gets back to me like at 8:15. I had sent her this message like 2 hours before that. Match.com tells you when the woman reads it. She read it right away, but took 2 hours to respond because she was probably fucking trying to figure out what she wanted to write. So she gets back to me, sends me her number, and says, okay, 8:30 sounds great. Here's my number. But just so you know, I only have a few minutes to talk. I go to bed early because I get up early for my work day and this and that. And right then and there, I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to call her. When someone places limitations like that, a few minutes, that's fucking disrespectful. You're not welcoming me into this conversation with open arms like I am. So I got back to her. I wrote back to her and I said, thanks for your number. Although I don't like to put time limits on getting to know someone. Let me know when you have more flexibility and we'll talk at that time. Have a great night! Exclamation point. Now, I know she probably will never talk with me again. I could care less if she does or doesn't. Okay. But the point of the matter is, I handled that properly because with her, even if I played into her game, okay, even if I did everything the way she wanted me to do it, which would be behaving in more beta male ways because she's dominant, okay? She's a dominant woman. She's a woman that behaves more masculine than feminine. And because of that, you know, if she's with a dominant man, the sexual polarity is going to be off because it's going to be like two men, trying to get along, even though one has a penis and one has a vagina. So for her, what she's going to be naturally more attracted to initially is a beta male, a man that behaves more feminine than masculine, because that balances out the sexual polarity. Since she's already behaving like a feminine, since she's always, so I can't even talk. Since she's already behaving like, a woman that behaves more masculine than feminine, okay? A man that's behaving, sorry, I'm losing it here for a second because I'm trying to avoid cars and avoid people hearing me talk about this. It's a very touchy subject. She's going to naturally be turned off and repelled and avoid men that are strong, masculine men that behave more masculine than feminine. So she thinks she's going to be more attracted to, feminized men that are more beta men. Now, let's say she goes out with one of these beta males, which will balance out the sexual polarity. She'll go out with a man that behaves more feminine, and she's a woman that behaves more masculine. So the sexual polarity is balanced there. And initially, there can be a connection with that. But what happens after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Okay? She's going to wear the pants. She's going to dominate this guy. This guy's going to behave like a big fucking pussy. There's going to be nothing masculine about him. And she's going to get turned off and dump him. And then she's gonna wonder, what the hell happened here? This guy is not a man. He's a big fucking pussy. I can't be with a man that behaves in this way. He's behaving like a woman. She may not say that exactly in her mind, but she's going to be thrown off wondering why he's not standing up for himself, why he's kissing her ass. And the reason is because she's behaving more like a man than a woman. She's a woman that looks like a woman. Now, I'll be honest with you. This lady, she was fairly attractive. I mean, I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, she was a 7 or an 8. I'm not going to kick her down. I mean, she was an attractive woman, but to me, it's not about looks. Yeah, sure, cute looks, good looks, decent body, face, hair, etc. That all helps. But when the attitude is shitty, when the attitude is a feminist attitude, where it's all about her and girl power and all about hating men, I want nothing to do with that. So I'm going to end that story right there and go into a few more thoughts regarding this, because I really want both men and women to understand what I'm saying. I'm not against women in any way, shape, or form. I've said this many times. I'll say it again. I'll keep saying it over and over and over again until the day I die, because no matter how politely I put this, no matter how much this makes sense, there are always going to be women out there that are going to be pissed off about this and say that you're just being bitter because women are empowered nowadays, and we have all these rights and we have all these groups and ladies are supporting each other and men don't support it. Yeah, men don't support each other nowadays. It's funny. Women are right about that. Women have a huge support system nowadays. Huge support system globally, not just locally and nationally in your own country, but globally. Women have a huge support structure, support system. Men don't have that. But I'm not being bitter about it. This is not about being bitter. This is about stating the facts. And the bottom line is is that the women out there that look all girly and dress nice and put themselves out there saying they want to find a good man, and those are the same women that say there aren't any good men left out there anymore. There are plenty of good men left out there. But as more and more men catch on regarding feminism and realize that you're all about girl power and you're anti-man, we're not going to give you that chance. Just like that lady out there I was messaging back and forth on Match.com, I was never going to meet her. I was going to have one phone conversation with her just because I felt like debating that one night. That's all it was going to be. It was going to be a debate. And that phone conversation was going to end by me saying, look, I don't date feminists. I don't date women that feel women are better than men. I date women that feel women and men are on the same page nowadays. We're equal. We have equal rights, equal pay for equal work, the right to vote, like everyone did yesterday, hopefully, the right to bear arms. I believe in equality. And that was the point of women's lib and the women's movement. But you're a feminist. You don't stop there. You don't stop there. You now project this into your relationships with men. You put yourself out there on Match.com and you behave in a way that is unattractive to a normal, confident alpha male that's masculine. And you are not realizing that. And that's why I responded to this lady. I was trying to kind of teach her a lesson and say, hey, look, I'm a decent guy. I'm a decent looking guy. I got my shit together and I'm a catch. And you could have had a chance with me. But you blew that chance with a great guy because of the fact that you were trying to act, if not as much of a man like I am, you're trying to behave more of a man than I was. You challenged me. You questioned me. You pushed the boundaries. And I read right through that because I have experience in dealing with this shit. But there are many other guys that don't get this. So I'm sure you're going to go out there and you're going to, connect with those guys. And then you're going to get into a relationship with one of them, and then you're going to think it's going to work out, but then you're going to realize that you have no respect for him because he's behaving like a big fucking pussy because you're behaving so much more like a man than a woman, where it's forcing him to behave feminine, or he's already a feminized man, that eventually you're going to get tired of it and it's going to turn you off and you're going to leave him anyways. That's where the problem is. I've already done one lap or a lap and a half around the park here. Back over here where the gentlemen are climbing up the trees and chopping the trees down. Now, I know there are some women that do that job, but not as many. I'll tell you what, here's the thing. I would have no problem if a woman wanted to come out here to the park and climb up one of these fucking trees and start, trimming the trees and doing all that shit. Go right ahead. But most of you don't want to do it. You have the right to do it nowadays. You've been liberated. I'll tell you what, why don't you ladies come on out here with me to Red Morton Park and we'll climb up a fucking tree and we'll start tree trimming. Okay? You want equality? You want equal pay for equal work? Get out there and do the same things that men have always done. And stop complaining. Stop complaining about bullshit. Look, I'm not trying to be bitter about this, folks. I am very, very passionate about this topic. And just when I thought that I wasn't going to encounter another feminist, especially online, I did. And it annoys the shit out of me. It annoys the shit out of me because you know what? Deep down inside, I think this woman that I was talking to is probably a really good woman. But she's been indoctrinated into this culture, that's been created by, the media, that's been created by the women's movement throughout the many waves of the women's movement. She's probably a part of many groups, where these ladies go up on stage and say, hey, ladies, we need to stick together. We can't let anyone get in the way of our success. Like I mentioned before, when they say we can't let anyone get in the way of our success, who the hell are they talking about? They're not talking about any other woman because it's all about women. They're talking about all other men out there. So we can't let men get in the way of our success. But they don't have the balls to come out and say, we can't let men get in the way of our success because then they're being sexist, right? Ladies, you wanted equal rights? You wanted equality across the board? Okay? You're already behaving like men. Why don't you come out and say that you have a problem with men? Because many of you do. Now, I know there are a lot of you that don't. There are many women out there that are great. There are more women that are indoctrinated into this, feminist bullshit. But there are some great women out there. And I'm not taking anything away from those good women out there. I'm not. I'm putting these videos out there to let guys know that when you put yourself out there and you're trying to find someone to date or become exclusive with or possibly marry, you got to look for women like this. If you get involved with a woman that's a feminist and you marry a feminist, I guarantee you will lose your shit in every way possible. Mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, you will lose your shit. You will gain weight. You will lose all your money. You will lose your self-pride. And emotionally, you're going to be more fucked than ever. Stay away from women that behave in feminist ways. And especially stay away from women that come out clearly and say, I am a feminist. If a woman tells you she's a feminist, listen to her. Listen to her. Yeah, that's so funny. Nowadays, they don't even like try to keep it a secret. They'll come out and tell you, I am a feminist. Well, okay. You want to know what I think a feminist is? Let me tell you what I compare a feminist to regarding the male aspect. In regards to the male aspect, to me, a feminist is the same thing as a man labeling himself a male chauvinistic pig. Let me repeat that one more time. We've been going for 32 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up soon. To me, a woman that labels herself a feminist is equivalent to a man that labels himself a male chauvinistic pig. So how would you like it if I sent you an email back, Mrs. or Miss Feminist Match.com chick? If I sent you a response back and I said, okay, you're a feminist, I'm actually a male chauvinistic pig. So now we're on the same playing field. Now are you still interested in talking with me and getting to know me better? Yeah, you're going to get back to me and say, fuck no, I'm not interested in you. I don't date or spend any time or want to be anywhere near a male chauvinistic pig. Well, just like I don't want to be anywhere near a fucking feminist. It's the same fucking thing, but you don't get it. You don't get it. And I think one of the main reasons why women don't understand that, at least the women that claim to be feminists and are hardcore on this, is because women are emotional creatures. And when a woman puts her mind to something and decides that that's the way she's going to be and puts her emotion into it, it's almost impossible to change her mind on her views. You could throw all the logic and reasoning her way and back it up with proven facts, and it still doesn't matter to her because it's about her emotions. Okay? It's about her emotions, and her emotions are saying that I am a feminist. I am better than men. Okay? I am a strong, independent woman. If you're trying to attract a man on a dating site or anywhere, and one of the first things that you say to them or write to them is, I am a strong, independent woman, what do you think we're going to think about that? Especially, like I said earlier, especially, us guys that understand what's really happening with feminism, understand how women are nowadays. You instantly turn me off when you say that. Now, there's nothing wrong talking about that 2-3 conversations in after we get to know each other. But when you initially approach me and say, I'm a strong, independent woman, why are you saying that? Why do you feel the need to come out and tell me you're a strong, independent woman? Why don't you just show me? Because you can't contain yourself. Because you're one of those women that feels you've been suppressed for so long, and you feel that all women in the past were suppressed before the Civil Rights Act came out, or it was, before it was put into place, before it happened. You're being bitter about the way things were in the past. Now, I feel terrible about how women were treated in the past. I feel terrible about that. Okay? And I understand that. But now that the issue has been fixed, for the most part, now there are always going to be issues, no matter, how fair the playing field is, or no matter how much the laws have changed to make men and women more equal. But you don't have to sit there and dwell on it, and you don't have to sit there and let it consume your life. Feminists out there, they let these things consume them to the point of where they can't enjoy their personal life. So what do? What do feminists do? All they do is they work a corporate job, they come home alone by themselves. That's what they do. And then they complain that there aren't any good men out there. That's what they fucking do. I've seen it. And I'm not being bitter about this. I'm being real. I'm stating the facts here. This is happening, folks. And whether you're a man or a woman, regardless of who you are out there, if you don't see this, open up your eyes. Because I'm sure if you're a guy out there, you've been on many dates lately, if you're single, and you're wondering why it's harder to keep a woman around nowadays. And you're wondering why some women, will pretend to like you for a little while and then use you for your resources and then leave you. Open your fucking eyes, guys. And gals, too. There are good women out there. But to the good women out there, if you're a good woman out there, I've met some women out there that are anti-feminists. They're anti-feminists. They're against feminism. They're not against the Civil Rights Act. They're not against women being empowered. They are against feminists that play the system and take things way too far above and beyond what the purpose of women's lib was created for. Get that straight. If anyone's going to give me any backlash on this video, especially ladies, understand that I'm happy for women's lib. What I'm not happy about is feminism. Feminism that allows women to play the system and get special privileges that not even men get or ever had in the past. Shit's gone way too far and it has to stop. Okay? But I'll tell you what, it's never going to stop until we all get together, both men and women, as a collective and try to work things out and try to bring the peace amongst each other. And not make it about, feminism and not make it about chauvinistic pigs, within men. Not make it about those things. Let's not be selfish. Let's work together and make this world a better place. Let's make this world a better place like it once was. Back in I keep mentioning this, but I'll say it again. Back in the days of traditionalism, women didn't have the rights they had today, or they have today. Okay? They didn't have the rights. And I feel bad about that. Women should have had the rights. But let me tell you something. When women didn't have the rights they have today, it's kind of funny how the world was a better place and how things worked much better. The divorce rate was less. People were breaking up less. People were a lot more polite. Why is that? We now give women equal rights. And the world is more fucked up than ever. I'm not blaming women for this. I'm just saying, why is that happening? Why is it happening? Because it is happening. And it started happening after women got equal rights. Is it ironic? Is it coincidental? You tell me. Or is it because of the fact that women are emotional creatures, which is the natural way that the good Lord made women to be, and they think more emotionally before they think logically, and that's just normal for them. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe it is because of that. Maybe the reason why men had rights in the past and women didn't is because men are logical thinkers, and we typically don't let our emotions get the best of us. Yes, sometimes we do. But for the most part, when we need to get shit done, we think logically and we put our emotions off the side, and we're strong like the rock. Yes, we do have our moments where we break down. It's happened to me. I'm a human being. But for the most part, we are logical thinkers that think things through, and we don't base a rash decision or make a rash decision on our emotion. We think it through. Women, not all, but many, base their decisions on how they're feeling in the present moment. And if something requires a lot more thought to process, okay, sometimes it's not the right thing to make a snap, quick decision because of how you're feeling in the moment. You got to think it through logically. I'm not saying anything negative about women here. I'm just speaking the facts. That's all I'm doing. I'm speaking the facts. That's how things were back then, and then this is how things are now. But the bottom line I want to mention here in this video is that this whole world is never going to change until feminism is destroyed. I don't want women to lose their rights. I don't want women to go backwards. I want women to have their rights, and I appreciate them for their rights. I appreciate a strong, hardworking woman. But feminism needs to die. Women need to stop behaving like men. You do not have a penis. You don't have a penis. Stop acting like you have a fucking penis because you don't have a fucking penis. You don't. And I'll tell you, this topic here, I'm more passionate than anything else. Okay? Stop acting like you have a fucking penis. You got your rights. We're all happy for you. You go to work, make your money, buy your own home, buy your own car, do your own thing. When you date a man, behave like a fucking woman. Behave feminine, or else I want nothing to do with you. And I'm going to always behave in the ways I behave as a man. Because if I behave like a woman, how attractive is that going to be to you? You know? Would you like it if I went on a date with you, and we started seeing each other, and then we went to have sex the first time, and you pulled my pants down, and you saw a vagina there instead of a penis? How would that make you feel? I'm going to come over here. How would that make you feel? It's not what you were expecting, right? Just as in the same ways where when us men want to go on a date with you and hang out with you, we're not expecting you to behave like us men do. We're expecting you to be a nice, sweet, down-to-earth lady. Now, we're not asking you to be weak or anything like that, but we're saying, look, be charming, be sweet, have a nice, soft, beautiful voice. Because I'll tell you, one of the main things that turns me off about a woman, I'm going to wrap it up after this because this is going on way too long. One of the main things that turns me on about a woman is her voice. If her voice is feminine, soft, and just feminine, biggest turn on. When you get those women nowadays that have that raspy voice, hey, how you doing today? My name is Kelly, and I want to, I'd love to get to know you. Eli, you seem like a great guy. And they talk like that, right? How fucking attractive is that shit? But when they talk like, hi, my name is Kathy, and you just seem like a really cool person. I'd love to get to know you. You hear the difference in the tone of voice? Many women I've talked to, not only recently, but in between relationships in the past that I've met online or in other ways, you get on the phone with them and they sound like a fucking man. Their voice sounds masculine. They look all girly and shit, but their voice sounds masculine. They sound like a fucking man. So anyway, I need to wrap this up. I've already done like 2 laps. I'm probably going to do 3 more laps and then go and upload this on my gigabit internet connection. This is going to be like a 4 gig file, and it's going to take less than a minute to upload. I'm going to wait right here because these cars are waiting for me to cross, but I'm not going to cross yet. Right here, I'm at the corner of St. Francis and Madison. Let me show you that. See that right there? Let's see if we can even do that. Can you even see that? Yeah. All right. So, hey, guys and gals out there, if I got a little too heated about this topic, my apologies. I'm not trying to offend anyone, male or female. I love you all. I love you all. But let me tell you, I've experienced these things, not just once, not just twice, not just 3 times, 5, 10 times. This has been a repetitive cycle. I've got so much data on this that everything I mentioned in this video is 100 million% true, whether you want to admit to it or not. Women don't want to admit to this. They don't, because they know it's the truth. They don't want to admit to it. But just think about it. Let me end it on this note for you ladies out there that consider yourselves feminists. Like I mentioned earlier, if I came up to you and I said, I consider myself a male chauvinistic pig, how attractive would that be to you? So when you come out there and either say you're a feminist or behave in one, or behave like one, how attractive is that going to be to myself or any other guy that you would hope to go on a date with or possibly get into a relationship with or possibly marry? How attractive do you feel that is? Do you think about how unattractive it is to behave that way? Or to have the thought process of a feminist, which basically, like I said, a feminist is basically a woman that's anti-man. It's the bottom line. I'm going public and saying that. If you are a feminist and you label yourself one, it is because you fucking hate men. Bottom line. I don't hate women. I don't hate any women. I'm disappointed at the ones that behave in the ways such as the one I mentioned here in this video that I was talking to through Match.com. But I don't hate her. I don't really have any hate for anybody. I love everybody. I just choose to disassociate myself with certain people that just don't get it and probably never will. Or it'll take them a very long time to figure it out, and by then I'll forget they exist. So try to be good to each other. If anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns, please share them below in the comment section, or send me a Facebook private message, or email me at coacheli@coacheli.com. That email is still active, coacheli@coacheli.com. I'm going to start doing some more professional videos again and doing more live streams. More than likely next week on Wednesday, I'll be starting my first live stream, Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, where I'll be interviewing, somebody new each week regarding a hot topic, whether it's business related or personal related. I know lots of people have lots of stories, folks. We're going to talk about it because we want you all to see what's really happening out here. Because if you think you've seen it all, you ain't seen nothing yet, and that's where I'm going to end this video. I will more than likely be back for a secondary video later today, even though I didn't get much sleep last night. I'm actually not even feeling that tired, but who knows? I might take a little nap when I get back home after I upload this. But probably back later with another hot topic. Again, have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you out the next one. Bye-bye now.